Happy fall, y'all. I am excited to be back in the kitchen with you today. My name is Kathy Allen. I'm at the Oklahoma State 4-H office, and I work in the area of 4-H Healthy Living. Today, I am excited to be back in the kitchen with you. It's been several weeks. Fall is one of my very favorite seasons, and today we're going to be making a fun fall treat. With many recipes that we've shared over the past several months, I like for you to have the opportunity to make this recipe your own, to add your favorite ingredients. What do you like? What does your family like? So let's just jump right in. We're going to be making today pumpkin muffins. They're 3-ingredient muffins, and I don't know about you, but I love all things fall. I like a good pumpkin spice latte. I love an outdoor fire, carving pumpkins with my family. Anything that involves pumpkin or fall, I'm all about that. So these muffins are super simple. They only have 3 ingredients. So hopefully you have those in your pantry or can easily pick those up at the store in a safe manner. So before we get started with any cooking, recipe, baking, anything, we want to make sure that we clean our work surface and our hands for 20 seconds under hot running water with soap. So you can say the whole 4-H pledge 2 times, whatever your method is. Hopefully by now you have it down pat. So I've cleaned my surface and I've cleaned my hands. So we'll get started. The ingredients that you're going to need is 1 can of pumpkin. This is not pumpkin pie filling. This is pure pumpkin. A ½ cup of applesauce. You can use cinnamon applesauce that I have here today, or you can use plain applesauce that you have out of a jar, a ½ cup. And then 1 cake mix. So that is the 3 ingredients. And then I like to add 1 extra to my recipe, and we're gonna be adding chocolate chips today. So the first thing I'm going to do is to be adding my 1 can of pumpkin to my bowl. The thing that I love about pumpkin, besides its flavor, is that that pumpkin is highly nutritious. It's what we consider a very dense nutritional food. It's high in vitamin A, it's high in fiber, and the fun thing about it is it's 94% water. So it's relatively low in calories. So we'll add that. Then we will add the applesauce. And again, I said you can use you can use cinnamon or just regular applesauce. You can use unsweetened applesauce, whatever you would like. Now comes the fun part of these 3-ingredient muffins. You can select any kind of cake mix that you like. I'm going to use a yellow cake mix. One of my very favorite things is to use a spice cake mix. You can use a chocolate cake mix or a devil's food that makes it extra fudgy. These muffins are super moist. So we're just going to add 1 cake mix, and then we're going to stir these ingredients together. I'm gonna get my spoon and just mix them together. You've probably made a cake with a cake mix in the past, and you used an electric mixer, and it was much runnier or liquidy than what this is going to be. So we're just gonna stir it till we get all of the ingredients mixed together and we don't have any dry cake mix. You probably just heard my oven beep. I am preheating my oven to 325 degrees. So that's what we're going to do. I like to bake these. You could bake it in like mini loaf pans, but my favorite thing is to put them in cupcake pans. You can do them with cupcake papers, or I just like to use a cooking spray and just spray my cupcake pans. And I'm gonna show you one of my favorite fall cupcake pans. I told you that I love all things fall, so I like to put this muffin mix in here. You can tell it's super quick, under 5 minutes. I like to put it in here, deliver those to my neighbors. But today we're just going to be using a regular, this is a silicone muffin pan that I have sprayed with my cooking spray. So I've already got that sprayed and ready to go. You wanna make sure you don't get too much oil down in the wells. So once you spray it, I recommend just grabbing a paper towel and wiping that out. So I'm gonna make sure that I get this all stirred in. So there's no cake mix left in there. Looks pretty good. And then you can add an ingredient of your choice. Remember, we said it's a three ingredient muffin mix. So think of some things. What could you add to these muffins? Pecans, I think, would be really awesome in them. Maybe you like walnuts. Maybe you would like to top it with a little bit of oatmeal and just a little bit of brown sugar. But I love dark chocolate, or this is actually semi-sweet with pumpkin. So I'm just gonna stir these in. It was half a cup of chocolate chips. You could use mini chocolate chips. You could maybe even use like butterscotch if that's what you like, or little bits of caramel. I bet that'd be really good if you used a chocolate cake mix. Okay, our recipe is complete. How fast was that? I'm gonna just set my items over here, and then you can just use a spoon to drop this in. Sometimes I find I get a little bit on the outside, so I like to use actually like a cookie scoop, or maybe even just like an ice cream scoop. And this recipe with 1 cake mix, 1 can of pumpkin, and a half a cup of chocolate chips, and the applesauce makes 12 muffins. So I'm gonna start off here by putting 1 of these in each. And you can see that's pretty easy to get those in there. You can even make mini muffins if you had a little mini muffin pan. I was reading online when I was preparing to make these for you that you can even drop these on a cookie sheet that's lined with parchment paper, and they make cookies. So one of the things about this is that they do really keep their shape. If I just put them in there straight like this, they'd probably still be a ball when it came out. So I just am trying to get them all in here. And so I'm gonna continue because I have more batter. I can put another scoop in there. And so I'm gonna get these filled up, and I will be back with you in just a second. So I just finished scooping it. I got about 2 scoops in every one of my muffin cups. And so now what I'm doing is I'm just going and kind of just pushing it down into that muffin cup so that, as I said, these really keep their shape. But these are so yummy, they're so moist. And one of the things I really love about pumpkin is that it is so versatile. We talked about how nutrient dense it was, but pumpkin is so versatile. It can be used in sweet recipes, like maybe pumpkin bars with cream cheese, or it can be used in a savory dish that you have on your Thanksgiving table. So that's one of the awesome things about pumpkin. So now we just bake our muffins for 325 degrees for about 18 minutes. So keep an eye on them, and I'm gonna put mine in the oven, and then we'll come back as we pull them out of this pan and take a look at them and just wrap up this session. I just finished pulling my muffins out of the oven. I earlier said about 18 minutes, but my muffins took about 22 minutes. So you'll just have to check on your oven temperature and just keep an eye on them. I allowed them to cool just for about 5 minutes in the pan, and then removed them, let them cool on a cooling rack. And now I am ready to serve these delicious muffins. Again, I used a yellow cake mix. I used a half cup of applesauce and 1 can of pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, but just good old pumpkin. And then I chose to add a half a cup of chocolate chips. I would like to challenge you, when you make your muffins, drop a comment in the comment section. Tell me what kind of cake mix you used, if you added chocolate chips or if you added nuts. So I want to see all the different varieties that are out there. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please remember to stay safe and stay well. And I look forward to being back in the kitchen again with you real soon. Thank you.